Hello, my name is Demetrius Lindsay. I am a student at East Stroudsburg University, and today I will be exploring art history, and I will be going in depth, especially with ancient Egyptian art. Now, ancient Egyptian art is by far my favorite era of art history. It's so rich in culture, in belief, in science, technology. All these different parts are impacted from the ancient Egyptians. And what I will be looking at today specifically is the artwork of ancient Egyptian gods. Now, in the Egyptian religion, there are over 100 different types of gods. Each god has various powers and importance to the ancient Egyptians. Throughout the different dynasties and different sects and cults of ancient Egyptians, there has been different gods that prevail longer than others. Now, what I'm going to be exploring today is just a few artworks of these different gods. Now, the god that we have depicted right here, right in front of us, this is a detail of the ceiling in the Great Hall of the tomb of Seti I in the Valley of the Kings at Thebes. This is part of the New Kingdom, and the goddess depicted right here is Nut. And Nut is the sky goddess. She watches over the sky. And that's also a job for Horus, and we'll talk more about Horus later on. Now, Nut is interesting because, as you can see, Nut is depicted here, usually reigning over the men and women of Egypt as the sky. And what's interesting, this story goes that Nut swallows the sun every single day, every single evening, and then she gives birth to it once again as the day starts. So right there you can see the sun being a very important factor in the ancient Egyptian religion. When you live in a desert, the sun is going to be rather important when it comes to your society and the people in it. Now we're going to go forward, and we're going to be talking about Osiris. Now, depicted in this piece of artwork right here is the deceased worshipping Osiris. Osiris is the king of the underworld. Now, some people get that confused with Anubis, and that's a fair, assumption, because Anubis is highly connected with the underworld. And before Osiris was king of the underworld, which is seen in the New Kingdom, Anubis was the king. And Osiris is depicted here with the green skin. Usually he has the white cloth, which symbolizes mummification. And in the Egyptian religion and belief, the afterworld was the eternal life. So it was more important than the physical form itself. So they highly revered Osiris as being the king of the underworld, and they definitely did make sure they paid tribute to him, as you can see depicted in this piece of artwork right here, which is beautifully, which is a beautiful depiction of Osiris. And we're going to go forward. Now, this is one of my favorite pieces. This is the god Horus depicted as a falcon. Horus is the god of good, basically, and he is the god on earth. He is the king of the mortal plane, and he's usually depicted with the pharaoh over, watching over the pharaoh, making sure that he is just and fair and full of morality. Horus goes hand in hand with all the good qualities that we hope that a ruler will have. And he's supposed to be good character and of good nature if Horus is watching over you. And right now he's depicted in this three-dimensional statue. And usually you'll see Horus depicted with a it'd be a falcon head with a human body, and that's also another depiction of Horus. Later on, we'll probably explore that as well. Now, here's another interesting one. Now, in ancient Egyptian religion and their beliefs, they believed that animals were very sacred, and they had various different types of gods and goddesses worshipped in the animal form. And this is another example of it. This is Bastet, the feline goddess. Now, the feline goddess is symbolizing one of the guardians of the underworld as well. And felines were very revered in ancient Egyptian culture because, lack of other words and other uses, pest control. They loved cats, and they also loved cobras because they would keep away mice and other types of animals that would infect their crops or be overall pests to their society. We're going to go a little bit further. And like I said before, we want to talk about Horus. And this is another depiction of Horus right here. And another person paying tribute to Horus. Now this is a depiction of a person paying tribute to Horus. As you can see him depicted right here with the falcon head and the body of a human. And also what you can depict is the crowns. He's wearing the white crown and the red crown. And with that depiction, that means that it symbolizes the unification of Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt at the same time. And this is very important to realize, is that Horus does control both of those regions. Now, there are different gods for every region and every type of facet of life for the Egyptians. Now, this is the last one that I have depicted in this book, the last goddess. This is goddess Isis. And Isis is the wife of Osiris. Now, as you can see her right here depicted, she also has a disc above her head. And this disc symbolizes Ra. The sun disk is something that is very important in ancient Egyptian religion, because as living in a desert, you will realize that the sun is very, very important when it comes to day-to-day life, especially when you're in that blistering heat all the time. Now, I'll leave you on this with an interesting story of Isis. Isis is the wife of Osiris. Now, when Osiris is poisoned and dismembered by his brother, Isis tries to gather up the pieces of her husband that were cast aside in the Nile, and in doing so, she brings together his body, and so that he can be mummified. Because what the ancient Egyptians believed is, like, the body had to be complete for it to move on into the afterlife. Now, the soul couldn't reside inside a ka unless the vessel was taken care of. And this is why they revered mummification so deeply, because they truly believed that a person does not just die. They move on from where they once were into another ka. This is why you see ancient Egyptians with many different kas. For example, Ramses II had multiple ones made, because he felt as though, what if one was destroyed? I'll have more left to carry on. And that is it for my ancient Egyptian history video. I thank you for listening in. In the book that I used today was Art Around the World, which is a very good book. They have many excerpts on different types of artworks around the world, and this one is just ancient Egyptian art. And once again, thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed my video.